Hello folks, welcome to OTD, also known as On the Deck. My name is Adam Arduna, this is my mom Gina, and it is very nice, warm outside today.
It's so awesome out here.
We're doing our show in an amazing weather today.
You could be out here butt naked.
Yeah,
Not saying we would do that, but you could.
I don't know if the viewers would necessarily like that, but you know, it's
okay,
goes to the point that the weather's beautiful out here today. And so with that, we're going to go ahead and jump into our Final Four wrap-up for this year's 2016 men's basketball tournament.
The NCAA brackets.
The NCAA brackets messed up everybody. I think there was like 2 people in the whole country that had their brackets done correctly. It was something small like that, but I know I didn't have mine right. So we still want to do an update and follow up with the wrap-up.
Because we have to follow up.
Because we have to, and we made our picks, and we were very confident, and it turns out that kind of like with some of the football picks we had earlier in the football season, it just didn't go our way. So we want to go back through that and talk about some of those games, which for the most part, one of the semifinals was really good. The other one was not. And that one I'm talking about is Villanova versus Oklahoma.
Yes.
It was Buddy Hield. It was his last night playing for OU potentially in that semifinal.
Did you even have Villanova in that game?
I actually didn't.
Who did you have?
I had KU and OU playing in that game.
I also had KU, OU.
I really wasn't expecting Jay Wright to go on that run with his team, but they did, and they ended up winning. And so it was a blowout, actually. It wasn't even close.
That was a woodshed. Listen, you know me and my woodshed. I mean, it was bad. It was not good.
It was really bad, and I just expected a much better performance from OU in that game.
100%.
I love Villanova.
Yeah,
well, we've said it. We support Villanova. It wasn't anything like that, but just the way Buddy Hield had played all season, and Lon Kruger was really doing a good job with his guys all year with OU. And plus in that matchup, not that we had that matchup actually, OU played earlier in the season and won handily. And so we were kind of hoping that would happen again, but we all know it's hard to beat a team twice.
It's hard to beat a team twice.
And in the semifinal and the Final Four down in Houston, there's a lot on the line, and so people step up and make plays, and Villanova sure did that game.
Villanova handled it.
And they did.
Well, I'll just be transparent. My Final Four, I had KU, I had OU. Then on the other side of the bracket, I had Michigan State. I mean, if I had a beer, it'd be just pour out a little liquor. If I had a 40, just pour out a little liquor.
R.I.P. to that first round. Oh,
for Michigan State.
Terrible.
And who did I have in the
You had North Carolina.
Oh, I did have good
yeah,
old Roy
you had
Williams.
North Carolina.
Thank you, Roy.
Yes.
Because you not only got to the Final Four, you got in the finals.
Well, I think my Final Four is actually the same as yours. I had KU, OU, Michigan State, and North Carolina as well. But I actually had Michigan State beating North Carolina, and I had KU beating OU, and I had North Carolina or KU and Michigan State, and that didn't work out.
I'm not gonna lie, I should have done my homework in pre-production because I don't remember. I know I had KU, but I don't remember if it was Michigan State or North Carolina that I had.
You had North Carolina.
Did I?
You did. I know you did. I was the only one that had Michigan State out of this group.
I knew that the whole time.
So,
I totally knew that I had.
Yep. No, you were right. You were correct. And then there was actually something inside me that said, "Go with Roy Williams." I've seen North Carolina play multiple times this year. I should have just picked them, but something told me that this was Tom Izzo's year. He had the team, Denzel Valentine, coming out of the Big Ten. They just seemed like they were going to get it, and
everybody thought that. It wasn't just you. I mean, if you go back and watch our picks, we're all over Michigan State, and I stand by that. Everything I said. I think my problem is with when you get into the tournament, it's all about who's good that day.
Right.
I do not believe you're actually picking your national champion from that tournament.
Right.
And that's a whole nother subject. But, you know, I think that there's a problem because sometimes the absolute best team isn't going to win that day.
Sure.
And somebody else said, it's not original, someone on one of the sports networks said, that's why everybody else does series. You know, the NBA, because you know any team can get a team on a day, but can you beat them in a series?
Right.
Who can get the best of 5, best of 7? And I think that that's one of the flaws with how the NCAA does it. Because then you get like St. Mary the Poor, JoJo Mboo's, you know, University of the Islands comes in, and then they take out a Duke or a Baylor or something like that.
Right.
But you know, in a best of anything series, that's not going to happen, and it doesn't represent. So That's what's called haterade because everybody's bracket was blowing.
I knew it. You know, we were actually down in New Orleans during the first rounds of the tournament,
in NOLA,
trying to keep up with the games and all that. And
while we were on Bourbon Street,
we were on Bourbon Street.
We actually did call ourselves watching the game. Do you remember in one of the bars?
People were tuning into our analysis. Yeah, so hey, there you go. But it was just a sad sight. I was so heartbroken when you started seeing some of those games. Just you see your teams losing, and
like
that's
flies. That first round is brutal. It's like
exactly. And that's why people, just back to your point, with a series, even a 5-game series, you have multiple opportunities to regain a victory. In these one-and-done games, anyone can honestly win. It really isn't just 90% to 10%. It for the most part really can be a 50-50 matchup, and you
100%.
Whichever team is hot and the other team that isn't playing terrible will probably come out on top. And that's what happened with some of these teams. In Michigan State, traditionally on any other night, probably would have won the game, and we would have seen them in the Final Four, and not that round.
To prove the point, how many times has St. Mary the Poor tripped up somebody in the first round and then they're bounced the next round?
All the time. You see it all the time.
Because in a series, when they've had to do it back to back, anybody can have that one spectacular, we've left it all on the floor game, and you trip up on a win, but back to back to back, you're not going to do it. Now, you could make the counter argument that if you're one of these Big 12, Big 10, SEC, Pac-12, ACC, your Big East schools, that you shouldn't get tripped up by them.
Sure.
But that's just not how basketball is played.
Correct.
It really isn't. Any day, anybody can get anybody.
And specifically in a tournament setting like that, where it's a one and done, where you maybe come up against a team that you haven't seen before, and that other team may have a spark plug type of player that may be able to trip you up or give you a different look that you haven't seen all year. And so what happens is that team may trip up the other team, but then in the second round, like you mentioned, teams have seen film on the up-and-coming team. They're no longer a secret. People know your little tricks, and so therefore another team coming out of one of those power conferences will take advantage of that and say, no more of that. And that's usually what happens is
unless you've got Steph Curry.
Unless you
know what I mean? Unless you've got a team, you've got a Steph Curry.
Or Larry Bird out of Indiana State, something like that, where you have these elite athletes. Yeah.
For the most part, you got Johnny B. Little, who comes rolling in fast and catches a bigger team sleeping. The rest of the quote-unquote bigger teams are like, you're not going to get me. And so that's why they get bounced.
Sure.
But again, that's why the brackets, people like us, took it really seriously, and we were doing all the analysis and
it's our job to do that. And, so we kind of have to take it sort of serious, but you kind of know going into it that it may not work out.
You got to grain of salt it a little bit. So I want to sound intelligent, but at the end of the day, I know you know that the first round is just flip a coin, flink.
It really is.
Okay, St. Mary the Poor is taking out Duke. Bloom.
Arkansas Little Rock won their tournament. No one's heard of them really all year until their conference tournament game. They win the championship, and then here they go beating Purdue in the first round.
And Purdue need to be shamed. You know what? I was ride or die for Purdue too. I was in it for Purdue.
Yeah.
But in fairness to him, again, anybody can trip you up first round. If you play that game, just call it a 3-game series. It's 2-1 Purdue.
Right.
It really is. It's just not going to happen again and again. And that, I know I sound like haterade.
Sure.
To these smaller colleges.
Well, I know I'm kind of getting that shade as well. So it's not just you. I've been kind of throwing the same type of shade out there as well, and I still stand by it. But at the end of the day, you still take your head off to a team that goes out and performs well.
Yeah,
so
and well, let's do that because we want to be fair and balanced. Congratulations to the teams that they're like, look, this is my one shot. I'm on the big stage. I'm going to go get that win. You're going to get a little more cred from me if you get past the first round.
Oh,
you know, if you're not just the spoiler who trips a team up and then you get bounced hard up out of the second, third round. You know, so if you're going to do it, win out. I say do your thing, but win out. So, I don't know. I will say this. Although my bracket was fairly busted, in the office pool that we were in, I do believe
that's some silver lining in this.
I got third.
So that's good.
I got third.
That's really good.
And in, our family, all of our family got
I did not get third.
No,
so
you did not. And I got $12.50 because I tied for third. And I had to
got some gas money out of it.
I had to third place was going to
get... gas is under $2 right now, so you can get something out of that.
Wait a minute, I did put gas in the car, so...
hey, third place. That's
Due
what
in
you
large
want.
part to North Carolina's 10 in it. So
Right.
there you go.
Well, hey, so we were close in that
We
regard.
were wrong. Now listen, let me say this about football. I was quite frankly. Well, wait a minute. You know what? Oklahoma did us dirty again.
Oklahoma has done. That's
back to
occasions
back.
now and two
Back
different
to back
sports.
Final Fours.
Right.
Back to back Final Fours.
Come on, OU.
Oh, come on, OU. Forward Sooner. Let's go. Oh well,
Man,
I'll let you have the last word.
I guess,
I got
yeah.
half the country hating me right now. Anyway,
You took anything from this? It really doesn't matter when it comes to picking the NCAA tournament.
Good luck.
Just flip a coin or just throw darts, and you'll probably have better luck than trying to go through it. Well, with that, that's really all we have from us here on OTD. We just want to say thanks for watching. We appreciate your time, folks.